This is the exact process how we're printing about 261,000 simply and purely from meta ads, bringing us a 4.73 ROAS. And this is the funnel breakdown on how we are doing it. So you can pretty much also take this for yourself and start implementing it for your agency, or even if you're a coaching business. Now, just to be very clear and be very honest with you, these are the numbers that we've done over the past couple of months. So for example, if you can take a look here, we've inputted about 15,000 in ads that's simply put on meta ads. And then from there, we've gotten 58,000 in profit and 261,000 in revenue. Just so you can see that I'm not just BSing you here with all these numbers, I'm going to just refresh HighROAS real quick and just showcase to you that these are real numbers that we've been able to achieve with meta ads, where we've been running specific traffic to a funnel that has been converting optimally. Now, you can do this in different types of niches. Even if you have a local lead gen agency, even if you have an e-commerce agency, even if you have a info product coaching agency, or whatever type of agency that you have, an AI agency, infrastructure agency, whatever, you will see that you can pretty much get results with this by doing it in any specific niche. This is even from like the past 7 days. So you can see here, for example, we've spent 923 euros, which comes down to a little bit, depending on the dollar price right now, a little bit higher in dollars, like maybe $1,100. And we've gotten a ROAS of 5, 3,700 profit, 31,000 in revenue for ourselves. If I take the last, let's say, 6 months, for example, we've gotten a revenue, as I showed you, of 261,000. And then also if I take like last year, for example, which was kind of a different time that we were running this, you can also see that we had like 53,000, 383,000 only from these meta ads. But this is the year where we've profited the most from it, because we've actually implemented a new strategy that you can start implementing as well yourself. So here's the strategy and here's the breakdown. So there's 5 things, because you need to start off with traffic. When you start with traffic, you need to have the right traffic, because people can say, you need to get traffic and you need to get these people and eyeballs, and the more traffic you have, the better it is. Well, I say the more better quality traffic you have, and the more of the better quality traffic you have of your ICP, the bigger the chances are going to be that you are going to make them convert, if you know how to have a specific conversion mechanism and a sales process that your setters or your closers or yourself, if you're maybe watching this, you're still doing it yourself, can follow, so they can actually convert the person when they come in from a cold person to completely, not knowing you, to someone that can actually, understand what you do and build the trust, which I call the KLT factor, the know, like, trust factor, from a scale of 1 to 10 within the quickest time possible. So for us, primarily, it all starts with IG outbound. Now, people think that IG outbound is completely dead and that it doesn't work anymore. Well, I'll tell you one thing, and it's a newsflash. It doesn't work if you don't do it the correct way, which is kind of the thing with everything. If you don't do the thing the right way, you're going to get jack all when it comes down to implementing this specific thing. So for us, the main traffic still comes, for I would say 10 to 20% from outbound, meaning we go to find people externally than just spending money on ads to acquire them. So the results you saw on HighROAS was just a small part, a piece of the pie of the entire pie that we've gotten in terms of the revenue that we've been generating for the past couple of years as well. So here is also the traffic what we're doing right now. So we're running ads, and these are specific IG follower ads where we're showcasing our results. We're showcasing what we actually do, and most of the times we're giving people a specific lead magnet, a specific thing that they can use to get value up front, because we utilize the law of reciprocity, which comes down to us giving you something and you giving us something in return, which is you booking a call, you giving us your information, and then pretty much just, becoming a client potentially. So then we have the IG Reels, which pretty much come down to us having strategic content, which I'll get into in just a second, on how you can actually set that up and how you can actually do it. Strategically set up to actually convert the clients or give them value so they can actually see how you work and what you do, so they actually get interested and you get their attention to be converted. Once you get their attention, like in the form of this video or in the form of content on Instagram, they will move further down your funnel. And if you do the right way, they will automatically be coming to you, as I will show you in just a second. And then we have our YouTube, which is pretty much what you're watching right now, and our retargeting ad strategy, which is a video for another time. But for now, I will showcase to you as well how we are using retargeting ads to pretty much leverage maximum results towards our niche and towards our ICP, which is an incredible strategy if you want to retarget everything out of your existing clients and the clients that you already know that are going to be attracting similar people in your niche. Now, this will attract followers. So all of these things, even outbound, by the way, will attract followers. So what we do with those followers is once they come in, we can retarget them and give them an asset, give them something tangible, which I'll showcase to you in a second as well, in the form of a video sales letter, in the form of a lead magnet, in the form of something valuable that they can use to implement into their business and then get better off by using that, so they actually see that you know what you're talking about and you're just not preaching, just for the sake of preaching. So the Instagram followers will give you something like this, which is, followers, likes, people actually, going to you and then actually, engaging with your profile. And then it's up to the setter, right, to your setter or to yourself to start chatting with those people, to start building a connection with these people. And in 2025, it's so different when it comes down to how you need to talk with people. So we actually have a specific system which comes down to us building a great connection with these people first before we even talk about what we do and what we offer and whatever. Now, unless they come for a specific lead magnet, then we give that lead magnet to them, but it's all value-based first and it's all connection-based first without us even mentioning anything that we do unless they say it themselves. Now, here is a principle I use called power versus force, and what that comes down to is them actually coming to us. Now, as with inbound, it might feel a little bit different, but there are still ways how we can position ourselves towards people so they still feel like they will want something from us instead of us selling something to them, which is never a good route to take if you ask me, in the online space, right? If someone ever feels that you're trying to sell them something, they are probably not going to do it. So the asset that we sell, or at least give to them, is pretty much a VSL. Now, the VSL comes down to a simple video page, a survey, and then a schedule page, confirmation page, and then a Zoom call, and then perhaps them joining to our Business Blueprint Advanced program. Now, let's get a little bit deeper into the traffic and how we utilize this traffic into the content strategy. So the content strategy looks something like this. Now, I'll start with one of the most important ones. Now, you'll think to yourself like, okay, so why is this one so important? Why are the stories so important? Well, here's the thing. The stories are super important because if you post specific stories that will engage the people, what will the stories do? Think about it. Why is it called stories? Well, it's called stories because you're sharing a story. You're sharing a behind the scenes of your life. You're sharing proof. You're sharing life. You're sharing that you're a real human. And the only way, and the best way for people to showcase, to see that you are a real human is by seeing your stories, by seeing your life. When we talk about superheroes, for example, if you talk about Superman or Batman or, pretty much like any type of superhero, Spider-Man or whatever, you know their story. You know that Spider-Man is Peter Parker and, has like pretty much like a crush on Mary Jane and all those things. You know the stories of these superheroes. Now, you need to create your own superhero story, which comes down to you sharing things so people can get a view of what you do. Now, we do that by showcasing, for example, cars, places, aesthetically pleasing things, funny things, comedy things, which is if that's your way of doing things, which is my way, then I showcase that. Client results, strategies, value-driven things, CTAs, right? Hey, comment, for example, scale, and I'll tell you a little bit more about it. And why we do that, as I said, it builds trust. It shows your superhero story, it shows your expertise, it positions you as an authority, it makes it relatable, desired situation, and you get inbound DMs. So I, for example, do hook and awareness stories with like results that I'm getting. I do, for example, real scarcity and like pain, right? I do also solution and credibility, CTAs. And my favorite, to be honest, is extra behind the scenes, because that builds the best type of connection with people that are following me, right? So for example, when someone comes and they see that I am, making coffee, my bulletproof coffee every single morning, and I'm just running and I'm going to the gym, or I'm just chilling at the beach or whatever, they might resonate with me because they will see Dubai. They might think, oh, Stefan is in Dubai, so I want to go to Dubai too, or I've been to Dubai. Where are you in Dubai? They might connect with me on that specific level. You connect with people on a personal level first, and then you can convert them to a business type of level. That's usually how all of my conversations go. They say, hey, I see you are there. Or, hey, I see that you are doing this. Tell me a little bit more about what it is that you can do to help me. Tell me what it is that you can assist me with when it comes down to your business, Stefan, right? Because I see that you're also helping other people, which comes down to the solution and credibility, showing results, showing case studies. Now, a great example of how you can leverage this even more is by the second part of traffic, which is Instagram posts. Now, these Instagram posts are mainly focused on specific topics like testimonials, the same as, for example, like the stories, but they're a little bit different. So, for example, they have the luxury cars, the nice places, women, aesthetically pleasing things, old money, family, and it builds trust. And it creates relatability, and it gives people an idea of their desired situation with you showcasing that in the post. Now, for example, one of these ones is one of my clients, and they are pretty much like a big marketing agency for beauty salons and clinics. Nico and Milan, if you're watching this, shout out to you guys. Pretty much what they've created is they've created their Instagram profile where they are just making sure that they are converting all of these med spas and beauty clinics when they come on their profile by simply posting strategic posts. And the way that they do that is they have 3 pictures of their clients pinned where they are with their clients, which is showing incredible social proof because they are with their clients. And, if some of the clients know a familiar face in the beauty spa niche and they come on their profile, they might see, oh, wait, this is a familiar face that we've seen in the space. And this might be someone that, we've seen, and with them working with this person means that if they probably get this person results, and this is a famous person in the niche, they have authority, they have leverage, they have great positioning. That way, the potential client will see this and will think, hey, listen, I might be able to be helped, by Nico and Milan. Let me send them a message, or let me connect with them on their Instagram. Imagine what then happens when they go and want to message them and they see a message that they've done outbound to them. It's a win-win because they have already messaged them. They have gotten a message, they've created leverage to their profile. It's a complete hybrid strategy, which comes from all angles. There's not just one angle where we just only like cold call them or like send them a LinkedIn message or send them an Instagram message. We come from all angles. And that way, there's no way that a client cannot ever get rid of us in their brain, which is something that you need to understand in this day and age. You need to have a strategy that's omnipresent. If you don't have a strategy that's omnipresent, it's going to be very hard for you to actually get the clients to convert because they'll forget you in a split second and they'll be on TikTok looking at videos on how, a cow is like eating grass or something. So you want to be making sure that you have a strategy where you're coming from all angles. And the way to do that is, for example, also what Mike is doing, right? It's similar to what Nico and Milan are doing, also the pin posts and also testimonials and pretty much just videos like this. And what I myself am also doing on my profile, if you go to my Instagram profile, you want to connect with me, take a look at it, you'll see I'm posting things which create leverage. So for example, one of the things that I'm posting is like me and Imangaji with a picture because we're good connections. And then pretty much I'm sharing that as leverage so that when people come on my profile and you see it, you're like, oh, wait, Stefan, how is he connected with Imangaji? And then also a couple of other people as well on my profile. So you'll see a lot of leverage things happening on my profile because I know strategically that will work and that will help actually convert the people that come on my profile. So that being said, we also have action-driven Instagram Reels. Now, I will showcase to you in another video where I will pretty much be telling you a little bit more about our ad strategy and what we have and how we do that. But for now, this specific action-driven IG Reel strategy comes down to us having testimonials like Nico and Milan that I share with you, building a team, always CTAs, and it completely builds the trust if you do it strategically in a way where people can click on this. They will pretty much just see either, pictures of the client that you're working with, or if they go to that specific reel, they'll see an interview, right, of that client where you're talking with that client and they're showcasing their results and what they've gotten with you directly to your ideal audience. So when they come to this and they see these reels and they see pretty much just someone that they know in the market, or a familiar face is pretty much getting results, guess what's going to happen? That KLT factor, that know, like, trust factor that I mentioned in the beginning, it's going to bump from a 1 to a 8 because they will see that someone is actionably talking about what service you're providing, and that way they build trust by recognizing that you know what you're talking about. Now, if you don't have this for your agency or your coaching business and you don't showcase results, which I see a lot of people not doing, you're probably not going to be getting the best results possible. Just being frank with that. So what you need to understand as well is the YouTube channel. That's the fourth thing that we're leveraging. And the YouTube channel is something actionable that you can start today, as well as these other things, by just uploading one video per week. If you upload one video per week and you share content as in how-tos, so for example, like I'm sharing with you right now, so you get ideas on the type of content you can start doing. So for example, you can already start posting the testimonials if you have them with the clients. You can already start posting the texts that you have of the client results. You can already start optimizing your Instagram by looking at Nikon and Milan's profile, and looking at my profile, and all these things that I already mentioned to you. Now, another valuable content that you can do is walkthroughs, student interviews, client interviews. If you don't have a YouTube channel where you're leveraging your client interviews, even if they've made like selfie testimonial videos for you, doesn't even have to be like a real interview, you are not leveraging the maximum of your clients, and you are probably leaving money on the table. All right. So what I always do, and the style that I do it in, is a mix of, student interviews, client interviews that I've helped, also a little bit more lifestyle type of things, and then also like how-tos or like walkthroughs that I'm doing right now to provide the necessary value. And this is more like bottom of the funnel. So less people will be watching this. And as you can see, as an example on this video, for example, this video got only about like maybe 200 views or something. But I don't really care about the views, to be honest, because all of the people that watch this have gone to my Instagram, connected with me that way. And we've gotten like dozens of clients from just one of these videos, right? So for me, it's all about conversion. It's not about how many views you actually get. Views is not an estimate of or a showcase of how well someone actually is doing. Someone can have a lot of views, but they can have a, broke ass business. Therefore, like, if we have like less reviews, but we have more quality people. That's what I want. So as you can see here, we're getting like views from different types of sources, and we're making sure that all of these people that come through, right, actually get converted by having a link in the description to our Instagram, which this video also has. So if you haven't connected with me on Instagram, go ahead and do so. Go to my Instagram, check out a little bit of the content that we're posting, and connect with me there, because as I said, like, you can always connect and always see, where the roads can bring us. Now, with that being said, this profile and this channel is completely made to nurture people as well into a more long form type of thing. Because imagine what happens when someone watches a 20-minute video, or if you watch now a 20-minute video, you get the value. Like, someone built so much trust, and when they see the story and go to Instagram, they see the stories, they see the behind the scenes, they see the value being provided. Well, guess what's going to happen with them? They're going to think, Stefan actually knows what he's talking about, right? He knows how to deliver value. He's already done it to a lot of people. So what are the odds of him doing it with me as well? Well, the odds are pretty big, because he's already had the proven track record with the people that he's already helped. So with you starting this, doesn't matter if you're in as I said, local lead gen agency, if you're a e-commerce agency, it really doesn't matter. You can go through all of these things that I mentioned, pretty much get that started, and start running your own optimized profile with that. Now, I got to clarify one more thing. When you post these stories, when you do these stories, you got to understand that they are the highest yielding leverage that we have by far. And the reason why we have that, and the reason why it's by far the best one, is because we run these ads, these retargeting ads, right? And our cold ads to the audience, so that when they click on the ad, usually they start following us from there as well. And that has been able to get us, as I said, like almost like 283 created events, 205 completed events with our ICP, and close a ton of clients from that, as I've shown in ROAS. Now, these ads that we're doing, as I said, I'll just give you a broad overview on this. So if you want to, learn more about this, or want me to make a video on this for the next time, just comment down below. Just let me know if you want to see a little bit more about our ad strategy, because as I said, it's been able to get us these amount of numbers. Well, this is for last year, but like, let's say the last 6 months, it's been able to get us like this amount. And in March alone, we already did like 100K from it. And then pretty much that's been consistent like that. So ROAS has sometimes some attribution issues, but like for the main part, it's pretty much like fully like this. So 225 calls, 261K, and that all came mainly from these ads that you can see right now. You can even go to my ad library, just look up my name, and then click on all the ads if you want to see them. But the main ones that we're using right now, right? So you can actually see, let me just do the ones that we're actually running. So the ones that we're actually running right now are like, videos, like long form videos, but also these retargeting ads. So we're just showcasing the interviews that I've had with successful students, because what happens when we do outbound on someone, we do outbound. Let's say, for example, 1 to 5% of these people will follow us back. If they follow us back and they follow us, we can retarget that audience and showcase to them like a clip of us actually talking with a client that has been in a similar position like them, and then showcase to them like, hey, this is the person. And when they see that on their feed the entire time, guess what's going to happen? They eventually are going to maybe respond to the outbound. They are potentially going to respond more and then maybe book a call automatically. And that's what usually happens with us. The people book automatic calls with us. It pretty much comes automatic most of the time, which is great. So our setters have to do less and we get more results. But that's pretty much a strategy on the retargeting. Now, if I show you the results on this for the next video, if you want to see that, as I said, comment down below. And you will be like surprised as to how low our cost per lead and cost per call is pretty much on this, right? So for example, with this one, we're paying 132 euros per unique sale. That's not cost per lead. That's not cost per call. That's per sale. So per sale, we're pretty much like paying that amount, right? And, sometimes for us, like the, it goes up, right? It really depends on how it is. But for followers, we're paying such a low amount. For leads, we're paying such a low amount. For calls, we're paying such a low amount, usually like below even 100 euros. Sometimes it goes up to like 150, on average, it's below 100 euros. So imagine paying less than 100 for a qualified call where maybe, let's say, 1 out of 3 is quality. So you're paying, let's say we take 80 euros, you're paying 240 euros, maybe 250 euros for a qualified lead that will convert for a high ticket offer, because most of you guys watching this have high ticket offers. So if they come in and they convert at a high ticket offer, you're making an incredible ROAS. Even at a ROAS of 4.73 for us, we're, purely profitable from these ads. And as I said, landscapes are changing. You need to be different when it comes down to your positioning and solving the exact problems that agitate the audience that you are targeting in the market. If you know that they have a specific problem, for example, I know a lot of you have a problem of like client acquisition. That's like the main problem, main bottleneck, automating the client acquisition, getting the clients running, but then also once you have that, finding the right team members and structuring the back end so you actually don't have to do the work yourself, but you can focus on, for example, making that content, because a lot of you don't even have time to do this, And if you don't have time to do this, well, guess what's going to happen? You're not going to become the best agency or coaching business in your space. So with that being said, next video, I will be running down, if you would like that, just let me know in the comments down below, more in depth on our ads, on our retargeting ads, the cold ads that we're running, also our VSL and our conversion mechanism, to showcase to you how we've been leveraging this to the max and how you can do that as well. This was how we print 261K with meta ads, how we get these types of ROASs, how our clients are doing it with, like, as I said, real examples of people doing this and how you can do it. So if there's one thing you can take away from this video, is that you need to start getting traffic from outbound stories, especially your Instagram, if your audience is active there, and start doing at least some retargeting ads on your meta ads. And if you want to know in depth, as I said, how to do that exactly, just let me know in the comments down below, and I'll make another video. For now, connect with me on Instagram. Hope this video was valuable and expect a lot more videos to come. Let's scale.